How's it going, guys? This is Z Hut with Z Hut's Gaming Corner, and I thank you guys very much for standing by for another episode. Now, what I'm going to be talking about is the big reveal that came by in UFC 5, where we got a really good look at the gameplay, the new damage systems. They're adding a lot of stuff, and overall, I approve of it. I actually think that they're putting in a good effort because if you know anything about game development or whatnot, it's really hard to just tear everything down and then build it up from scratch. So if they want to transfer code to a new engine or whatever it is they're doing, I'm pretty sure they are trying their best, but there's only so much you can do with a video game, especially one that's a sports style game or even a fighting style sports game that they are pulling off with UFC 5. I try to give game developers the benefit of the doubt because if you understand it, it's basically just computer codes with a front end of 3D animations. There's a little more to it than that, but that's just the bread and meat of the sandwich that is a video game. So it's really hard to rewrite those, but they are trying to put in some effort. Now, hear me out. I'm going to be honest. I like the ground game. I think that it is a step up. It might be. It's an effort. It looks a little more fluent. The submission system, they're not ruining it, but I think they're trying to get rid of all those little mini games, and they're just trying to make it more fluid. It looks like an actual jiu-jitsu match from what I'm seeing. So, hey, if someone wants to play me on this game, if someone wants to play as RDA, I'll play as Charles Oliveira at 155. Let's do it. Let's go to the ground. Let's have a full-on jiu-jitsu match. No strikes allowed. I think that sounds like a pretty fun time. It's fast, it looks fun, it looks fluid, it looks like an actual jiu-jitsu fight. And you know what? I think that people are just looking for something to complain about. We don't know how this is going to turn out, but right now, that is my current opinion. The pricing, I understand exactly why people are so pressed about this. I don't think that you should be able to or have to pay $110 for the deluxe edition for all these alter egos. I think that the deluxe edition itself should be $70, but video games are getting way more expensive, and it's causing people to want to kind of tag out. Am I going to buy the deluxe edition? Probably not. I'm going to start off with just the normal things, and if there's add-ons in the future that I could pay $5 at a time for, maybe. I understand microtransactions, huge fees that they are paying or forcing us to pay on these video games. It's kind of gouging, and in these economic times, nobody really wants to do that. But this is overall just, it is what it is. I'm probably just going to get the standard. So if you don't want to get the 110, that's what I believe it is. Deluxe edition with all these alter egos. I understand. Now Muhammad Ali and Fedor, that's a really big grab. But how many different playable characters are they going to have in here? I don't know. I'm probably going to be going down to 145 and go flat earth style and try and fight with Bryce Mitchell. But I digress. Now, onto the calf kicks. I saw that. The calf kicks are good. I think that they are trying to evolve the game with the sport because if you were like me and you actually watch the sport of UFC and you see all these new moves coming out and new fighters and pro fighters liking to exploit them and working them in the gyms and then using them in title fights, those things making highlights, like especially the calf kick that Dustin finished Conor McGregor with in their second fight, I actually give a lot of effort that they are putting thought into how we are going to evolve the game to mix with the sport. So at least they're trying to actively change things. Just like the doctor stoppages, I am a little skeptical of because that could be a two-way street, double-edged sword. It could be really good, but at the same time, I'm going to go 95. It's probably going to be a bad thing because the one realistic thing that I don't want in this game is going to be if you have a really good fight going on, action-packed, everyone's entertained, and then all of a sudden a doctor stoppage calls it off because they're looking at it, the cut's too deep. Man, it is a video game. It is not supposed to be the real thing. And I know I just said that I like a lot of the realistic flow that they're adding to jiu-jitsu, but you got to really pick and choose your battles when you want to know what to add realism to. These games are supposed to be fun, not frustrating. But I will be honest, if you have a close enough fight in this game, they will do draws. I think that's also going to be majority draws, majority decisions, etc. So at least thank you for adding more ways that these fights can go, where if it's a total draw, we could run it back. We could go 1-1-1, which means one win, one loss, one draw if you've never played a sports game or played a sport in your life. But I digress. That's basically the big points that they have made. I know they have made these games again and again and again, and soon we're going to have UFC 6, which is going to have certain things, UFC 7, 8, so on. This is going to go on throughout the years, but you know what? They've had Madden 1995 through 2027, and I'm not complaining. People buy those games every year, just like the FIFA games, just like any other sports games that you could find via EA Sports. It just tends to come in a yearly release or a bi-yearly release, or in this sense, 3 years. Not too bad. I really don't have too much of an issue with it. But overall, I am actually going to buy this game. Now, if you have any grievances or you disagree, I don't feel like you should have to buy it. I'm going to go buy this. I am going to review it also just to see if my opinions are going to change after I play this game. I'm going to go through a couple careers. I'm actually going to play one more UFC 4 career just for my channel for you guys. But don't feel like you are obligated to buy this. If you have a problem with the way they are still doing business, your opinion is just as valid as mine. I really, really hope that one day, we could all have a good relationship between game developer and consumer, because the other part is a lot of these people who play these games always look for something to complain about. It's never good enough. And I don't even think that golden age of gaming is over. I think gaming has gotten so much more advanced, but at the same time, I do think us, the consumer, tries to be a little too demanding when we do forget that these are video games. There's only so much they could do to immerse us in the experience, and you get a lot of good games that immerse us in these experiences and make us feel warm and fuzzy and take us out of our ordinary mundane realities. But how much more do we need? That's all I got to say about that. I'm going to go pick up this game. You can if you want to, but this is just my opinion. Overall, I give the reveal that they had a 7 out of 10, because like they said, there's some things that I don't like, but there was a lot more that kind of shined through. And I say, you know what? They're changing it up. They're making it happen. Let's do this. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time. Peace out.